Some artists make music, and then there are others who come along and change it forever. Today, we're talking about Prince, a true force of nature who wasn't just a musician, he was a one-man revolution in sound, in style, and in spirit. And this quote right here, this is the key to understanding everything about him. It wasn't just some catchy phrase. This was his personal motto, the engine behind his entire life. And we're about to see exactly how that one idea guided him through every single chapter of his story. So where did it all begin? Well, our story starts in Minneapolis, Minnesota, with a kid who was, to put it mildly, a preternaturally gifted artist named Prince Rogers Nelson. I mean, just look at this timeline. It's staggering. By the time most of us are just figuring out how to play one instrument, Prince had already mastered several. Piano at 7, guitar at 13, drums by 15. This wasn't just talent, it was a phenomenon in the making. And that brings us to this crucial number, 19. At just 19 years old, he signs a major deal with Warner Bros. But here's the kicker. He demanded, and he got, full creative control. For a brand new artist, that was absolutely unheard of. That spirit that transcends rules was already firing on all cylinders. And what happened next wasn't just success. Oh no, it was a full-blown cultural takeover. This was the beginning of the Purple Rain. In 1984, the album and the movie Purple Rain just drop, and the world was never the same. It was like a lightning strike of funk and rock and pop that didn't just top the charts. It launched Prince into a completely different stratosphere of superstardom. And the album's power was just undeniable. Think about it for a second. When doves cry, let's go crazy, I would die for you. And of course, the legendary title track, Purple Rain. This wasn't just a great album, it was a relentless wave of era-defining hits coming from one single artist. And this wasn't just some commercial smash hit. Purple Rain won an Academy Award, an Oscar. The establishment itself had to recognize that Prince wasn't just playing their game. He was changing the rules of both music and film. But here's the thing about a spirit that transcends rules. It's bound to run into conflict with the system. And that brings us to the central battle of Prince's career, his fight for artistic freedom against a corporate machine. This all came to a head in the 90s. The issue was fundamental. Who owned his music? Who owned his name? For Prince, the answer was simple. He did. But for his label, well, the contract said something very different. So how did he fight back? Well, this is where things get really interesting. In 1993, he did something nobody saw coming. He abandoned the name Prince because the label owned it, and he adopted an unpronounceable symbol. It was a radical, brilliant act of protest designed to reclaim his own identity. The world literally didn't know what to call him, so the media just settled on this phrase. He became the artist formerly known as Prince. It was confusing, it was bold, and man did it make his point loud and clear. He would not be owned. And you know what? Eventually, the battle ended. Prince won. He got his name back, he got his freedom back, and in doing so, he entered the final act of his career, cementing his status as a true icon for the ages. And in 2004, the very industry he had so famously battled was forced to recognize his genius. His induction into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, talk about the ultimate testament to his undeniable, rule-breaking impact. And he never stopped innovating. Ever. He delivered what many people still call the single greatest Super Bowl halftime show of all time in 2007. He pioneered online music distribution way before it was the standard. And through it all, his music reached over 150 million people around the globe. So what is his legacy? It's just immense. He took on the music industry and won. He shattered racial barriers and completely defied gender stereotypes. He influenced countless artists, and his home, Paisley Park, now stands as a museum to his incredible life's work. Which brings us right back to where we started. Prince lived his entire life by a simple but incredibly powerful motto. He proved that a strong, defiant, creative spirit can, in fact, transcend any rule thrown its way. So the question he kind of leaves for all of us is this. In a world that is full of rules, what spirit will you follow?